I have been seeing the videos being posted all over YouTube, and I'm sure there are other places as well. And the tragedy and the mourning and the response after suicide was successful. And in my mind, yes, it has brought an awareness to the fact that this is a real situation, real problem. But there are those who are panicking because until Tyra Simon, oh dear, Tyra Spalding, sorry, until she chose to document her journey, and thank God with the advent of social media, there are those who either didn't know it was a thing, didn't understand it to be a thing, didn't see it as a real thing, boxed it off, scraped it under the rug, had their casual discourse about it. But thanks to Tara, it hit them smack in the face. She was so eloquent at explaining all that she was going through, but all that many of us have gone through. And her life will count for a lot, even though she will not be able to celebrate it. She will be the poster child of what those voices can lead to, the signs to look out for, and the way to get both professional and spiritual help. And you would have heard my earlier video where I identified it as a demonic attack. And there are those who will say it is a mental health disorder. And I would not negate that because you see, I was trained in psychology. My main reason for going off to do this degree in psychology was because I needed to get clarity on how the mind works. I was so tired of my mind taking control of me. I needed to get things back in order. So, yes, as a survivor of multiple suicide attempts, I understand inside out. I understand from the clinical side. I understand the spiritual side. And I understand suffering through it. I understand being put in a corner, being misunderstood, being cast aside because me too much. I'm acting up. I am looking attention. I don't see how much I already have. But this video is not about that. I wanted to title this video 25 Things I Achieved After Multiple Suicide Attempts. But then it dawned on me that maybe as I start to speak, there might be more than 25, or I might lose my count because I'm good at that. So I'm just gonna put a few of them out there. And with that, leave it all in your minds to decide. To decide what? Yeah, to decide. To decide, was living worth it? Let's put it that way. Although I've already come to my own conclusions. So, in my previous video, I spoke about when it all started. And I will go back to the beginning to speak of the achievements. So even though the first attempt at a drug overdose at age 10 failed, I went on and I passed my common entrance. Success. Let's put a check mark right there. I went on to go to a little known school back in the days, a school out east, a school that did not have much fame and acclaim. And the backstory is a simple one. My first common entrance attempt, apparently I had passed for St. Hugh's High School for Girls. Being my first chance and having two other chances, I wasn't awarded the place. And so my second attempt, I was placed at Camperdown High School. I spoke briefly about a suicide attempt at Camperdown High School, where I tried to launch myself off the fourth floor of one of those blocks. I think it was that first block as you enter the school gate. I will not even talk too much about how my English teacher, I cannot explain how she found me, why she found me, why she followed me. It did not happen thanks to her. And for 5 consecutive years, I was one of the most awarded students at Camperdown High School. Yes. In the entire form, first form, top student. And shall we name a few of the areas? English language, history, biology. And that's just what I can remember. 5 consecutive years, top student in the entire form. At that very school, I earned a place to represent my school and Jamaica as an intercultural international exchange student. I got a fight there too. And you see, it's all about the fights and those that I overcame. Because really, this is where the voices had prominence. Every time I wanted to move forward, something was trying to pull me back. But I succeeded. I represented my school, I represented my family, I represented myself, I represented my country. So, having been awarded this scholarship, I had a fight. And it's the fights that always led me down a slippery slope of self doubt and a desire to self harm. But today it's not about the fights, it's about the successes. And so the Thursday before I was scheduled to fly, the following Tuesday, my associated expenses were not paid in full, and I slouched in the couch of the AFS office, distress and despair. And I knew I was going to have another bout. I didn't know at the time, but I was sinking so deep at age 16. And I tried to console myself and I said, well, at least you got selected. The fact that everybody didn't come through for you doesn't take away, because I had to do self-talk. And self-talk is so important. And minutes before I was supposed to leave, I was called into the office. And much to my surprise, my airline tickets were there. But because my benefactor had come through so late, I didn't have a family to go to. I didn't have where to live, and it begins to sound like the story of my life. always a problem with where to live. But I was happy. I was going. I was happy I was going to live at the university. I would live on dorms. I really did not care too much at that point. I was able to go. We won't talk about that story today, but if you want to hear, I will share. So just ask. I ended up in Barcelona, Spain, in a little area unknown to most people, wine growing country. And I had the best year of my life. That year, I had one desire once to end my life. And I walked down to the sea, and my host father came and he rescued me. The Mediterranean Sea wanted to take my body, but my host father came and he rescued me. I returned from my year abroad fluent in Spanish with a good understanding of Catalan, a decent understanding of French and Portuguese. Win, win, win. Check marks. Upon returning to Jamaica, re-assimilating into the culture was so difficult. But we won't talk about that today because I started on a journey as a hotel management trainee. And here I am, how many years later? I was 18 then. Oh my God. Time is really stacking up. Hmm. So it's over 30 odd years ago I've been back. And tourism has been my heart and soul. And it has made me happy. It has given me moments of great joy. And so I excelled and I had fights. And I fought, I won, and sometimes I failed. And the assault on my mind continued. But it's funny because it was an it was a uphill journey. And I'm glad for this time of reflection because I did not understand how many uphill steps I took. Because honestly, I did not want to die. I wanted what most people wanted. I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be valued. I wanted to be appreciated. I wanted a few people in my corner. I wanted those ride or die encounters. I wanted to be special to someone. I wanted someone to tell me I was special, not just for them to have it in their minds and their hearts, but to tell me that I was special. I knew I was very talented. I aced tests. I aced interviews. I got jobs that I wanted. Sometimes I didn't get the jobs I wanted, but I got good jobs. I got good results on interviews. I was chosen at 19 for a position on Princess Cruises. We won't talk about why I did not take up the offer, but I was chosen. I worked in the banking industry. I was at Victoria Mutual as a mortgage arrears clerk, and I got a fight. And this was supposed to be a video where I speak of my wins, but how do I speak about winning without the fights? Because the fights, they gave me integrity, they gave me testicular fortitude without testicles. Oh my God, I am crazy. So now we're at Victoria Mutual Building Society. And I became known among the clients as the person who found a way to take their properties off the auction block. I didn't know at the time that was something to put on a resume. But many homes were saved because of this creative mind that was not willing to accept that persons were going to be homeless. I fought for them because by then I learned how to fight hard. But the suicidal tendencies, they stayed with me. I had days when I walked out into vehicles intentionally while doing wonderful things for the people around me. But we are moving forward. I interviewed and I ended up in the grill working in entertainment as a translator, a position that really didn't exist. And that's the other thing. Because my skill sets were so varied, positions were created for me. And so within months of being at Hedonism 2, I was advised that I am required to take my passport because I am booked for a flight to Mexico. I was going to represent the company on a sales bits in Mexico City, Distrito Federal. Another win, check. And so this video already has gone quite a distance, and I'm not even age 23. I'm not even 22 yet. Looking back at wins really causes time to go by. Mexico was a success. Came back to Jamaica, and my general manager had me down to do South America, Chile. And guess what? I got a fight. My HR manager decided to block me. And another, my most devastating suicide attempt occurred. Lost my mind on that job. Had a mental breakdown. But somebody, a wonderful young lady, stepped in. She was the general manager's secretary. And she took me home and she nursed me. Still not yet 22, I don't think, or maybe just 22. This video has over 50 years of wins to cover. So I'm going to speed it up. Made my way from the grill into St. Mary, transferred from that job. And another opportunity to represent the company. And I was fought out of it again. And we shall not even speak about being a Canadian landed immigrant and how I shan't talk about that. There's some other videos there, like Lonely in Canada, Daddy Don't Touch Me There. They're on my channel. You can go and discover some of the other fights that I had. But I want to fast forward. I want to skip over a lot of things. But bear in mind that there were wins along the way, wins and wins and wins. And I told you at 19, I got a job offer with Carnival, sorry, with Princess Cruises. And I always lamented that I never took it up. And 2010, so many years later, I was introduced to a company that was a seller of cruises predominantly. And instead of going on ships to work, it became my job to send people sailing on ships for the holiday of their lifetime. And just to end this video with a bit of bragging, I am going to try. I might not succeed, but I'm going to try and name all the ships that I have set persons to sail in my 15-year career as a cruise agent. Let's start with Carnival Corporation. And this is the home of Carnival Cruises, Princess, Cunard, Holland America, Seabourn, and I might be missing a few. I'm not sure if I can call the ships by name, but let's go. I have sold Carnival Vista. I have sold Carnival Horizon. I have sold Carnival, oh geez, Dreams, oh Lord. Let's put it into context. I have sold most, if not all, of the Carnival ships. I was a big seller of Carnival back in the day. Let's jump to Holland America. Maybe I should talk about destination. I was a top seller with Holland America for Alaska. And guess what? Up to today, September 27th, 2025, I have not set foot in Alaska. But I have sold Alaska with Holland America in a way that you would think I was born there and a glacier was my first cousin. So the Rotterdam, the New Amsterdam, the Koningsdam, the Zuiderdam, the Osterdam, those damn ships, I've sold them all, predominantly into Alaska. I've sold Azamara, Iceland, Reykjavik. Couldn't even pronounce that word when I was making the sale. I have sold Europe. Oh, that's my playground. Greece. Still haven't touched foot there. But I have sold the life out of Greece. I'm one of the top sellers for Celestial Cruises. And I have sold Mykonos, Santorini, Rhodes, Delphi. Oh, absolutely wonderful. And my clients have given me raving reviews consistently. Royal Caribbean. Oh my goodness. I've sold Oasis of the Seas, Allure of the Seas, Adventure of the Seas. I am running out of memory as to all my ships from Royal Caribbean that I've offered. I've offered Celebrity Cruises. I have offered the Reflection. I have offered the Silhouette. Celebrity has been a favorite. Celebrity Century. Oh my goodness. I think at this point I would want to end the video, but I cannot leave out Princess. I've sold Princess Cruises, the Love Boat, Royal Princess, Regal Princess, Coral Princess. Oh goodness. Mm. And I'm still in Royal Caribbean. I'm still in Surrey in the Carnival Cruise Line. I have not even ventured out very, very far. I've not touched MSC, guys. MSC was my stomping ground for sales. I've sold the World America newest ship in the fleet. Clients returned raving. The seaside, the seascape, the poesia, the divina, the meraviglia. MSC, wonderful. They've been good to me. And we're not even talking about the ships I've sailed on, just the ships I have sold. Virgin. Just had clients step off the Virgin Valiant Lady yesterday, I believe. And the list goes on and on. We haven't even reached river cruises, Riviera. Oh my God. It's endless. This is about bragging. Yes, this is about bragging. And as you see the images accompanying this video, this is what surviving suicide attempts look like. Because one thing you will do as you journey through the voices in your head that want you to end your life, one thing you'll have to do is fight. You will have to fight for your life. And the fight continues. The fight gives you structure. The fight gives you strength. The fight gives you stamina. The fight helps you to find alternatives. The fight toughens you. The fight strengthens you. The fight teaches you who is in charge of your life. It teaches you whose you are in the middle of teaching you who you are. Don't quit the fight, because had I succeeded, I would not have seen this glorious journey. And this is just my professional life. There's so many successes in my personal, emotional, physical, spiritual life. My life is a life of success. Not necessarily the way some people count success, but success nevertheless, because my life has counted for many, many things and continues to count. So if you have been handpicked to want to end your life, you have been handpicked for greatness. You'll never see the light at the end of the tunnel because it's a tunnel. But if you stand in the dark, you'll never get to the end. Push through, go through, move through, journey through. Be that train blaring headlights and blasting horns. Make it to the end of the tunnel, because before there was a tunnel, somebody had to blast through rocks. Somebody made a way to lay those tracks. Somebody made a way to build that train. And somebody made a way to power that train on those tracks through that dark tunnel to the other side. Maybe the train is sitting in the station waiting for you to drive, waiting for you to navigate it, waiting for you to be the eyes and the ears to push through. Do not miss your chance. Do not miss your opportunity. Power through. Cry if you must. Roll if you must. But dying is not an option, because you were made to have life. and to have life more abundantly. Ciao for now.